This podcast is intended for mature audiences and contains language, topics, and descriptions that some may find unsettling or triggering. Listener discretion is advised. Hello, Voyager, and welcome back to Episode 2 of Beyond the Lightless Shores. You may notice that today's episode is a lot shorter than the last one. Moving forward, we're aiming to keep all of our episodes under an hour, so that the pace of the story is faster and more interesting. With that out of the way, buckle up as we dive into Episode 2 of Beyond the Lightless Shores. Hello everybody, and welcome back to Beyond the Lightless Shores. I am your DM, Christian Stewart. Everybody, let's go ahead and do a roll call. Just introduce yourself and the character you'll be playing.
My name is Gabriel. I am playing Barry Like, who is an expert. He's the tech whiz kind of guy.
My name is Joshua, and I'll be playing Elric Silverstride.
Hi, I'm Matthew. I'll be playing Franny, a resident healer and diplomat.
What is up, Spacers? I'm Zach, and I will be playing the unstoppable Lansing Greer.
Stoppable after 6 shots of tequila.
Well, I mean, I slow down a little, but I'll still be alright behind a pilot's chair most of the time.
Yeah, that's never what you want to hear. This is your captain speaking. I am 6 tequila shots in, and we'll probably land in LaGuardia safely.
As long as I don't hit that 6th shot, we're fine. Just don't ask any Sensa pilots for reviews.
Let's go ahead, and I will do a quick recap to engross you guys in our evening's tale, and for those listening to sort of remind them where we left off with the crew of the Shoco last time. After a harrowing battle against 2 enemy Ganymedes, you were able to bring one down and steal their metadimensional space rudder. After plugging their digital map, their metadimensional space rudder, into your own navigation system, you were then able to make your first successful metadimensional spike drill to the Koraphell system, the system that you are now at, that is a interstellar base that is managed and controlled by the Sanctus Accipiter, the more warlike of Asmova's 3 religious sects. You had a conversation with Captain Reginald Keeter, and he informed you that he was pretty well aware that you guys were runaways. You were able to make a connection with the repair officer on board the station and requested he fix up your ship after the hell that it had been through with battling the 2 Ganymedes. So, pretty important for you guys to fix that up. You were sort of hanging together on your last bolt. After brokering a good deal with the repair officer at K-SIT base, you stumbled into the bar where you met a mysterious figure, a Captain Sultan Zarati, captain of the Dead Sons, who had an interesting conversation with Lansing about a possible negotiation that ended in Sultan offering to fix up your ship for free, if only you would win a coin flip. He asked of Lansing an unspoken favor that could have been bad and could have been pretty simple. We don't know, because Lansing ended up winning the flip. You guys won about 10,000 credits and were able to see to repairing your ship for the rest of the damage that had been inflicted on it. We now cut to you guys in the bar wrapping up the end of the night. There are quarters on board the station that you can stumble off to and fall asleep, sort of afforded to you through the expenses that you are paying out to have your ship fixed up, and you can't exactly sleep on the ship while it is being repaired. So, with that, Captain Zarati has left the room to go about his business, and you are in Hemedal's Mirth.
So, quick question.
Yes.
As we've been going about this entire space base on K-SIT,
yeah,
are the majority of people armed, or armed in a way that is visible?
Yes. So the Accipiter officers are all strapped. They definitely have at least laser pistols on board, and some of the other officers, I would say, are carrying even heavier weapons than that. You see a couple of security officers who seem to be packing mag rifles on their back. Definitely heavily armed, and everybody seems to be wearing... I would say that you've come accustomed to being able to recognize sort of personal protection armor that fits on beneath the clothing, and it doesn't alarm people that you are like heavily armed and prepared for conflict, but it keeps you safe while you're out in public. It's the kind of armor that you can sort of wear discreetly beneath your clothes. And most of the people on board are armed in some sort of way. There's a bunch of pirates who come through here, and the Accipiter base wants to make sure that things don't get too rowdy. So, yeah, everybody's strapped.
Are the pirates armed as well?
Yes, everyone that you have seen so far, sort of, it's an open carry. It's like a quick trip in Texas.
Elric would wait and see if either, one, someone walks off super drunk, two, or wait for Sulk to make a move.
Gotcha. So I know that you had been following Franny when she was sort of running her errands and getting the clothes that she needed and some meds for Lansing.
I think I would have cycled around to the bar eventually to see if everyone was safe as well.
So would Elric know of the coin flip and the insignia?
I would say you weren't there for that. You specifically weren't there for that. You were following Franny around while she was doing chores at that time.
Okay, then
yeah.
Elric.
But Lansing looks a lot happier. If you came into the bar anytime after Sultan left, Lansing probably has a shit-eating grin on his face, having come into...
You're darn right, I just fixed our ship.
10,000 credits.
Did anything happen? I stepped out for a moment.
Elric, my friend, you just missed the luckiest I've been in the past 5 years. I won us a coin toss and all the money we need to fix up the Shoco. And then some.
Yeah, it was, I mean, normally I don't advocate gambling, but it was pretty fortunate. And yeah, now we went and talked to the repairs officer and we're getting the Shoco all the way fixed up.
What did you wager?
Yes, what was the cost of this fantastic wager?
Well, that's the thing. He didn't really say. It was a coin flip, but I don't know what I would have paid if I'd lost.
That sounds dangerous, but glad it worked out.
A big risk, but a big reward, and we needed the reward.
Yeah, he had this whole, like, creepy, mysterious vibe. I think you probably would have been good friends with him, Elric. You guys both sort of have the same, like, energy.
What is this friend's name, and how can I identify them?
I mean, he sort of was, like, walking with a big pirate swagger. He had on a giant tricorn cap. He sort of looks like a pirate captain-y sort.
He kind of sounded cartoonishly evil.
So, you brokered a deal with a coin flip, with a man who looks cartoonishly evil.
Yeah, but we won the freaking flip.
Yeah, exactly. See? Lana gets it.
Yeah, and Lansing's been buying us drinks all night with the credits he won, so don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Just try not to spend all those credits, Lana. We still need to fuel up the ship.
As fun as this night has been, I recommend we get some shut-eye. We're going to want to rest up before we make our second spike drill. Who knows how long repairs could take, but I think that we should be ready to leave as soon as they're done. There's a decent chance that the CNSA sent somebody after us. I mean, we did sort of leave a bit of a mess behind. Barry, I think that your device that you used to break up communications probably bought us some time, but I think that eventually Sensa's going to be on our tail.
Yeah.
Did they follow us all the way to Asmova?
I think we sort of left a bit of a smoking trail, don't you?
Well, for sure. I just wonder if they would be bold enough to enter Asmova in space.
Does Barry know, like, how easy it is to track people through space?
You're a programmer, right? You have that as
Yeah.
a base skill. So, without needing a knowledge check, I would say that you know that tracking somebody through space is difficult. But you also have a good enough understanding of the sector map to know that there's really only two places that you could have gone. You could have gone back to the Hixus system, which is sort of a flaming trash heap, or you could have gone onto Asmova. The bet would probably be that you went to Asmova. So there's really only two directions. They could have sent two different search groups in two different directions to find you.
That makes sense. They're pretty powerful.
Right, and there's only one refueling
people.
station between here and Asmova, and it's K-SIT. So
all right.
actually tracking a ship through space is pretty difficult, but if you can meet the ship at a necessary junction that it needs to cross to get to its eventual destination, then that's the place that they would be able to find you, by crossing through a necessary checkpoint. So Sulk is basically saying, like, hey, let's get the hell out of here before they show up.
Commander, what kind of pull does CNSA have on Asmova?
I know that CNSA does trading with Asmova. I know that they create some electronics, electrical resistors, and important computer chips, but other than that, I'm not certain.
So their presence isn't denied on Asmova, so there might be CNSA operatives or people who might be of higher standing of CNSA currently on Asmova.
There's a good chance that that's the case, yes. It might be a good idea when we land in Serenity to not make too big of a splash.
Do we announce that we are defectors?
I don't know that that would be a good idea. If word starts spreading around that a bunch of defectors have landed on Asmova, if there are CNSA operatives in Asmova, and there might very well be, then they might go sniffing around for us. I don't know what sort of communications Mazaalai has with any operatives, any CNSA operatives that might be on Asmova, but I think it's better to keep our noses clean.
It's going to come out anyway when Franny starts talking with, like, the diplomats, isn't it? Why bother hiding it?
I think that we should choose the right time to show our cards.
And if they are already sensitive to our cause, they might be willing to give us a secret meeting that would not be public. That's what I'm going to go for anyway.
As I mentioned before, Jiri Torskov, a connection that we sent over when the Shoco-II fled the Mazaalai system, is going to be waiting there. He'll have more information on the system. So if we can get to him, we can reconnoiter, have a conversation, and figure out what our next move is.
He would provide an update to the situation on Asmova.
Right.
Correct?
Well, we haven't had communication with the Shoco-II for the better part of 3 years. I'm not certain how Jiri's mission has gone. We haven't been in contact with him. So we'll need to be catching up a little bit with him. On that note, I'm going to go get some shut-eye. I think that the rest of you should too. My plan is to leave out of here the moment that the repairs are done. Good night. Lana, go easy on that tequila sunrise, will you?
Can I, whisper into Solk's ear? Would you like me to keep an eye on Lana?
He sort of, like, glances down at her. He's like, if you could just make sure that she gets to bed safely. Yes. I worry about her at times, and her judgment. If you could just make sure, don't let her know that you're following her, or she might try to shoot you. I don't know. She's got problems.
Where's Dr. Nedelev?
I would say Nedelev is probably just hanging out with Barry. She sort of kind of has been clinging to you, Barry, because you're really the only person she knows. She's uncomfortable with all these military personnel and all these pilots and special operatives that you're really probably the only person that makes her feel calm. So she's really just been hanging out with you.
I can't say that Barry is too comfortable around them either. He's definitely never been outside of, like, his planet before, so...
Where's Francis?
No, she's gonna stay at the bar and basically be designated driver.
Will it be another Shirley Temple for you, miss? Sprite and grenadine?
This is what I have is fine.
I feel like Francis is a Shirley Temple kind of girl.
I know nothing about alcohol, so
it's not alcohol. It's literally just Sprite and grenadine. It's like a cherry Sprite, basically.
See, it just proves it. Yeah, I think she might have something alcoholic, but very, very light.
Yeah, like a wine spritzer.
Excellent. All right. So Elric is going to, after eyeing Lana, how's she looking? Mm-hmm.
Oh, if Lansing keeps buying her shots, like Lana just keeps going hard.
Like,
I mean, I'll cut her off before she's completely, like, 3 feet to the wind.
She's probably, like, punching you in the arm now, like, come on, don't be such a buzzkill.
Wait, is
Lana, we still have to afford fuel for the ship back, not to mention any additional repairs we might need.
I mean, if you think about it, like, talking to the crazy Dead Son's evil captain guy, that was totally a me move, and I'm pretty sure that you wouldn't have done it if you hadn't been hanging out with me for the past few months. So really, I mean, I have, like, a 50% cut of the money that you just made.
I appreciate your estimation of your influence over my life, Lana, but I assure you, I know a desperate situation when I see one.
Listen.
And we're fucking desperate.
Okay, well, I just encourage you to not totally turn down my logic. I think I've got a pretty good point, and I think you know that I do, so how about you just buy me another tequila sunrise?
Tell you what, tell me how many you've had already without counting your glasses, and maybe I'll do it.
I don't wear glasses, dumbass.
How's Lansing looking as well?
Oh, definitely drunk.
Oh.
Yeah, let's go ahead and have you actually roll a physical save. We'll consider alcohol is a poison. It is definitely a poison, so go ahead and roll a physical save to see just how fucked up you are.
I can do that. Oh dear. I'm a little further along than I realized.
Lana passed, actually. Lana's holding her
Of course,
shit.
Lana can hold liquor better than me.
This isn't her first rodeo,
This
apparently.
is not her first rodeo.
This is not her 30th rodeo.
Okay. Well, in seeing that, I'm going to make this conversation with Barry somewhat short. Barry, Dr. Nedelov,
Yeah?
Oh, yes, Elric?
I was wondering if either one of you guys would like to join me in some physical exercise come the morning. I know it's important to keep your health in shape.
Oh, Nedelov sort of exchanges a look with you, Barry.
I'm gonna give her a very, like, kind of, what the heck is this guy asking kind of look. Like,
I think he's talking about exercising, Barry.
I'm gonna kind of, like, look down at my very anemic, frail body.
Very well.
I think I'm gonna pass.
Barry, I would have to insist that it might be to your benefit to keep up with everybody.
Well, do you mean, like, tonight? Because, like...
In the morning,
Oh.
of course.
I'll see how I'm feeling in the morning.
I used to run back in the Green Ring. Yeah, I've actually sort of been missing the jogging machine that we used to keep in the offices we worked in.
I look over to Lansing. Is Lansing listening in?
Not originally, but the more you guys look like you're having a spirited conversation that he's not a part of, he would absolutely wander over.
Lansing has serious FOMO.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Lansing, we are discussing the necessity of keeping up one's physical attributes. Perhaps you would like to also join in perhaps exercising before we leave in the morning.
Oh, yeah. I have this thing where I don't exercise after drinking. I've got this weird aversion to hurling my guts out. But maybe next time.
I was thinking that if they have a facility for it, perhaps we should work on some combat skills, if we have the time.
I'm not exactly the combat type.
Hey, man, I was former military before I dropped out, but I could shoot.
Perhaps if Commander Sulk is feeling up for it, we could ask him for some pointers on how to wield a hand-to-hand combat weapon, or if we are caught without a weapon, how to protect ourselves. Francis, what are your thoughts?
It is important, of course, to keep up physical health, especially with all the zero-G we've been experiencing on the ship. I can ask the repair bay before we all head to bed and see how long it's going to take, see if we have time in the morning. I know we're looking to get out of here pretty quick, especially with CNSA on our back. If you're going to stay here with them, I can go now and ask this repair bay when they're going to be done with the ship.
If you would, that'd be great.
Right, I'll head to the repair bay.
I think at this point also, Nedelov would probably catch you, Barry, and she'd be like, I think I'm gonna go ahead and go to bed. Do you want to go find the sleeping quarters?
Yeah, I'm also getting pretty sleepy.
Okay, cool. Let's go find it. I don't want to bump into a pirate out there alone, so it'd be nice to have you with you.
Ilana, you done drinking yet? Let's get back to the bunks, you barfly.
Lana's gone.
Oh shit, good.
Did I see her start to leave at all?
Nope. You were in that conversation. She just snuck out.
Oh great. Where's my engineer?
I would have been with her. Could I have seen where she went?
Go ahead
That's
and
why I
roll a
spoke up
perception
to,
check.
Notice check.
Yeah, notice
Notice?
check. Yeah, right. Terminology.
Notice wisdom.
Notice wisdom.
All right, should just be a +1 for me. Hey, that's super
I will
high.
help you with that actually.
12.
You wouldn't know to
Roll
look,
12.
I would say. You were in the middle of a conversation.
Fair.
Okay, so 12?
Yep, 12.
Yeah, you would have caught Lana sort of heading for the door of the,
Around
Okay.
what time in the conversation?
probably pretty close to the beginning of it. When she saw everybody sort of distracted, she probably would have started walking away around then.
Okay, so
I think I would have given her space, but when I went to go to see where the repairs, how the repairs are doing, do I see her anywhere?
Probably not. No, you wouldn't have ran into her on the way to the repair bay. Okay,
I might go look for her.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
You head to the repair bay. You're gonna go find Gitter to try to ask him about how your ship is coming around.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So as you come through the repair bay, you see it's sort of this like giant garage that sort of hangs off of the back of the spinning station. So the station has a front aspect where the ships come in and dock, and it has a rear aspect where they have a bay where they can physically enclose anything between like the size of a freighter class ship within the building so that they can work on the outside of it outside of the hard vacuum of space. So as you sort of come through the center, and it's sort of like you get to pull yourself up through the chute. I don't know if you've ever seen The Martian, but sort of the spinning craft that they use in The Martian. There's like tubes that lead towards the center that exists totally in microgravity. And as you pull yourself up through these tubes with these handbars, you sort of get to experience a pseudo-flying feeling as you begin drifting up. And as the centrifugal force that sort of acts as the artificial gravity of this base begins to diminish as you make your way towards the center mass of this craft and are able to float through the hall down to the repair bay. And you are in microgravity for the rest of the time. You enter through sort of an access door at the front desk. There's a lady who buzzes you in after you show, you know, how like when you go get your car fixed, they give you like a little fob that's like, hey, if you have problems, yeah. So you basically show her that, and you come in and you see a number of different workers sort of welding at the pieces of the Shoco-II on the outside, floating in microgravity, passing each other torches, working with welding devices to fix the metal and get it back into shape. They work with impressive efficiency, just calling out to each other for different tools as they sort of toss it, spinning weightlessly through the microgravity to be caught. I guess it's sort of like a drag racing pit stop crew that's working in microgravity. Sort of imagine that.
I'll look for our friend.
Yeah, the manager. So as you look for Gitter, the repairs officer, he sort of like sees you come in, lifts up his welding visor, and says, "Oh, hello! Come in to check on the ship?"
Yes. We were hoping to leave sometime after we sleep. Just wanted to... No rush or anything, of course. We want you to do well. I'm just wondering when it'd be done.
I always do well. And we'll have it ready for you in about 6 hours, he says as he sort of comes down and makes a slight touchdown. He hooks into the floor with these like Velcro boots to keep him from floating up to the top.
You guys, you're really good.
You came with me?
Oh, are you physically there?
Yeah, if he heard anything indicating checking out his ship, he'd be right there.
Yeah.
Hey, and don't worry if you take off some paint. I didn't paint it.
Oh yeah, the yellow is sort of an eyesore. Don't really know who picked that out.
Yeah, honestly beats me. I'm thinking maybe like some red.
We talked about a repair job, not a paint job, so that's going to cost you extra. It's also hard as hell to put on paint in microgravity. It sort of has a tendency to float up off the craft and get everywhere, gets in the air vents, so...
Well, like Kevin always huffs it up to get strung out. Oh, I do not!
Alright boys, alright, calm down.
Oh, we're heading to Asmova. Do you have any information about the planet there? This is a common through station, right?
Certainly. Trade is coming through. He sort of like avoids your eye contact for a little bit. Other folks coming through to do business stuff, including Mazaalai from time to time. We've got a couple trader ships that come through here, bringing all kinds of electric supplies over to Asmova.
Any tips for first-time visitors?
My advice, if I were in your shoes, I would go ahead and try to talk to... I actually have a cousin. His name's Gizlo. I would go talk to him. He sits in a pretty high up position with a political party there. They call them the Rapix Reclaimers. There's a good number of the crew on board here that are members of the Rapix Reclaimers. We're sort of in the same position that you are, really. Trying to fix things around the government, make things better. That sort of deal.
Oh, wow. That sounds quite interesting. I think we'll have to look him up sometime.
The current Prime Accipiter is old and slow.
I think I can understand that, at least.
Yeah,
a weak leader is one that will lead their country to destruction.
Exactly. She's anemic as they come. Working hand in hand with those damn doves. Always asking to make sure that she's not stepping out of line before she makes an order. Here we are. We have a wonderful college full of nice, bright young minds that are learning military tactics. And what are they doing? Simply spending all the resources to keep up defenses. It's a shame. It's a disgrace.
Granny will nod in agreement, even though that's not what she believes.
Anyway, yep, we'll have it ready in 6 hours. I'll go ahead and make sure that somebody comes and gets you to let you know when your ship's ready.
Sounds great. We'll leave you to it. Don't want to distract you too much. And Franny will head through the quarters with Lansing in tow.
Hey, Kevin, be careful with that welder! You see that he takes out a dry erase board eraser and erases the number that says number of days since last accident and resets it to 0. So are we wanting to go ahead and time skip? Is there anything else that you guys want to do? Or are you guys all finding your quarters and bedding down for the
We're
night?
looking for Lana.
Sure.
I will check first in the lobby area.
As you head to the lobby area, go ahead and give me a... What would it be, a notice check? Go ahead and give me a notice check.
That's a 9.
Yeah, I would say with a 9, you do see Lana's shortcut, red-headed head sort of sticking out from a section of couches where she seems to be in a conversation with a couple spacers that are sort of like listening to her intently. Her body language is hunched over and sort of like she's telling them a secret, trying to let them know about something, but keep it on the down low. You can see she's sort of making animated gesticulations with her hands as she's talking, sort of like like an Italian gangster trying to explain something.
So she's keeping her volume down.
Yeah, she is keeping her volume down. You catch, I would say with a notice check that high, you do detect that she's trying to be discreet. And they just seem very interested. They're a group of blue-skinned, dark-haired humanoids that you would probably know. I say you wouldn't have to roll this. You would probably know them as Ramai. Sort of have their black hair pulled up in tight buns, sort of have grim expressions on their faces, but they seem to be listening with intent and curiosity to the yarn that Lana is spinning for them.
Can I try to get close without being noticed?
Yeah, certainly. Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
So sneak?
Yeah, sneak. Right. Terminology.
Sneak dexterity?
Yes.
Another 9.
I would say she's not really paying attention to you right now, but as you get closer, you hear, she's like, yeah, guys, I'm telling you, this stuff, you've never tried anything like this. It's gonna blow your damn mind. Is it?
If I had to do,
is it psychedelic? You hear one of the people asking. No. It's like the opposite of psychedelic, if that makes sense. It's gonna chill you the fuck out. But you have the Northern Promise that this is prime shit. Here, I'll even give you some free samples. That's for you, and that's for you.
All right, as she is dealing. If I had to do like a walk by to hear that more,
yeah,
Ulrich's gonna keep walking by outside of earshot and kind of be an onlooker from afar to see if the tone of the conversation ever shifts.
Gotcha. To see if the drug deal goes bad.
Yep, just keeping a close watch.
So you sort of out of the corner of your eyes, you watch this conversation go on for a while. You sort of smell the scent of the cigarettes being lit up as her future buyers sort of try the product. You see them both out of the corner of your eye. You see satisfied smiles on the faces of both of them. An officer comes over and yells at them to put out the cigarettes, and they do so. But you watch them reach out. After the officer walks away, you watch them reach out and shake Lana's hand as she hands them a nondescript paper bag. You see the flash, the indicating light of a transfer of credits occur between the two of them. Lana shakes their hands again and gets up to leave away from the main lobby and into the circular Ferris wheel where your sleeping quarters are.
Okay, I would follow.
Well, my question is, have you changed your face or not?
Oh yeah, I most definitely did. I would have changed my face. I was thinking about making another blue face, but no, I would have changed. By the time when we were heading from the bar area, as I was making the turn, I would have shifted into a woman slightly shorter with black hair and fair skin.
So as Lana leaves the lobby area, you see her just kind of walking, bouncing with a skip in her step as she made a successful deal. You see her, she's pulled up her credit chit to like see how many credits she has, and she's just counting through them. You hear her sort of muttering to herself. She's like, "Good work, Lana, good work." And she walks with a bounce in her step off to the sleeping quarters.
I will follow until she enters her room.
So they're sort of divided into men and women's quarters. You see her turn into the women's quarters and head inside.
I shoot Sulk a message saying, Lana made contact with 2 Ramai, and they exchanged gifts.
Sulk is like, I'll have a talk with her in the morning. Thank you, Elric.
After I stopped listening to Lana's conversation, did I catch any other conversations that might be of interest or see anybody that might have been of interest to me?
The constituents of this base, this floating base, are interesting people by nature. You would hear a couple of them talking sort of in hushed tones about like Remus. You would know that the 2 blue individuals that you saw, the Ramai that you saw speaking with Lana, are from this planet Remus, that you sort of hear a lot of hushed whispering about the leader of Remus building up and amassing a large army. They talk about these cruisers that are being assembled in the docking yards of Remus, and how a lot of supplies being run these days seem to be making their way to Remus. A lot of metals, a lot of materials that are used in the classical construction of weapons. They seem to be gearing up, and seem to have been gearing up for something for a long time.
Would I know anything about Remus, political climate, or civilization?
Yeah. You could go ahead and roll a no check for me if you would like.
Oh, so that's a 6.
I would say that the barest bones knowledge you have of Remus is that they were a colony kind of like Mazaalai was to Asmova. They were a colony that broke off from another planet called Isilingo. And Isilingo, you would know, it's most well known in the sector for producing excellent psionics. They have a school that is known as the best psionic school on the planet. And the race of the people who live on Isilingo that are directly connected to the Ramai, they're basically the same people group, because one, again, is sort of a colony of the other. They're known for having blue skin, sort of a shorter stature, and a bit of enlarged foreheads. Most of them have black hair. You haven't, this is sort of your first time coming face to face with one of the race of Isilingo, but you understand that they have a propensity towards becoming excellent psychers. It seems like their time spent in the separation during the rending seemed to have produced a subspecies of mankind that was very adept at the manipulation of psychic energies.
Okay. Then yeah, I'd make note of the gym and then turn in.
So we'll say that you guys sleep in until the next day. Francis, you get a message on your compad about 6 hours later that the ship is ready for pickup.
She'd get up, relatively early-ish. She didn't do any drinking last night, and just she'd do her general morning routine, and then she'd just wait in either the lobby or the hall until Sulk got up. She'd put on a more travel-ready clothes with a light bit of combat protection underneath.
So, Francis, while you're having this moment out in the lobby, just sort of probably getting some coffee, sort of waking yourself up, you hear, kind of coming down from the docking bay, a conversation. Officers are talking to each other, the comms officers. There's an office like right next to the lobby where they sort of communicate with any ships that are docking in. And you overhear this sort of conversation. Looks like we've got another ship coming in from Mazaalai right now. What? Didn't one just come in yesterday? Yeah, I don't know. Usually they only send one freighter through to trade a month. But I don't know. I wonder what's happening then. What kind of ship is it? It looks like it's another free merchant. They say they're looking for another ship that came through here.
I'm sorry, I can help over here. Is there another ship from Mazaalai?
Oh, yeah. That's what appears to be happening. We have another ship from Mazaalai requesting to dock here.
Okay, I look at their uniforms. Do they look like they're also part of the...
they're all Accipiter. Yeah, they're Accipiter comms officers.
You guys like rebels, right? And people trying to get away from their governments?
I mean, there's sort of a divide in the Accipiter family, if you would, about who should rightfully be the prime Accipiter at the moment. A lot of people don't like Olga, but I tend to, I personally sort of side with the Rapix Reclaimers. What about it?
We're trying to get away from them. We need you guys to stall for us, if you could possibly do that.
Go ahead and roll me a talk check.
Okay, I'm going to use my diplomat skill.
Sure.
So I will reroll any ones I get.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, I'm going to use my diplomat skill to shift their reaction roll one step closer to friendly. Wow, double ones again, so I'm going to reroll both of them.
Okay,
good.
I
can do that.
Good.
With talk skill.
Yes.
10 on that one.
Listen, lady, I don't really understand the intricacies of Mausolean policy and politics. We do respect somebody trying to stick it to the government, trying to rise up and make something for themselves. We see eye to eye.
Exactly what we're doing.
Yeah, well, we respect it, so tell you what. It's not legal. I could lose my job over this, but we'll try to keep them stalled for a couple hours. Legally, I have to let them land here. So,
of course, we'll be out in the next 30 minutes, I think.
You're on the clock.
She's going to run to the quarters.
Before you leave, one of them catches you and says, "Listen, good luck. We're kindred spirits."
Thank you so much. Good luck to you.
You hear them over the intercoms. Yeah, I'm afraid before we leave, we're going to have a full, comprehensive inventory of what you're carrying on board. Yep, no, I mean, I can't, there's nothing to say for it. I mean, new regulations are new regulations. Listen, sir, I'm just trying to keep my job. Don't look at me, I'm not the one who makes the docking requirements. Now, I am the manager, sir.
I'm going to run to the female quarters, at least, and I'm going to start sending... I'm going to call Sulk. This is important enough to call him.
You probably run into him on your way to the quarters.
Perfect. Yeah, there's another ship from Mazaalai. Right now, we have 2 hours to get out of here, and then they're going to land. I asked the comms officers to stall as long as I could, and they're here right now, looking for us.
Sulk's normally expressionless face, his eyes go wide, and he's like, damn it, they're closer on our trail than I thought. Okay, we gotta get everyone together and get the hell out of here.
I'll grab the girls.
Okay, I'll go let everyone know in the male's quarter.
Barry is about to have a quite literal rude awakening.
So is Lana. Oh my gosh.
Elric already woke you up trying to get you to go to the gym.
Like, I don't think it makes sense for us to have the time to go to the gym, because that probably, like, we'd probably want to sleep for, like, the whole 6 hours, because 6 hours isn't a huge amount of sleep.
Elric gyms 4 a.m. every day.
Oh, you sound like one of those influencers. Yeah, I wake up every morning at 4 in the morning. I read 3 books. 3 books to completion. And then I exercise, have a healthy breakfast, and then it's 5 a.m. and then I read 4 more books.
Would either Lansing or Barry join Elric in the gym?
Absolutely not.
Elric's in the gym alone.
I mean, no offense. It's just after a night of drinking, Lansing would wake up probably at 6:30 and then try to sleep until 8.
Nettlev's there. She's got her glasses. She's got her glasses removed. She's got her hair up in like a little sports band. She kind of looks. She's like, well, I guess it's just us.
You see Elric in a full body tracksuit with like gloves.
That's quite the getup you have there.
Pay it no mind. Do we
Okay.
start with some light jogging before some calisthenics?
I'm here for the jogging. So as you
can set
guys,
the pace.
yeah. Oh, what a gentleman.
We're jogging.
Yeah, you guys are jogging. As that happens, Sulk flies into the room, sort of not really caring who he wakes up or disturbs, and he says, "Hey, boys, we need to clear out of here. Mazaalai's on our ass."
Wait, he said this in where?
He's in the middle of the men's quarters, so where you guys are sleeping. You hear grumbling and muttering of the other people who are sleeping, like, shut the fuck up, dude.
Sense it. Shit. Hang on. And Lansing would absolutely, as soon as the word Sensa leaves Sulk's mouth, be bolt upright and doing his level best to get his boots on.
Yep, pack up, we gotta bug out. So,
Barry's gonna kind of like look up from his bed, like all with like frizzy hair. He's gonna, oh shit.
And Elric's gonna be like, oftentimes this is the best part of my morning. Dr. Nettle as he jogs in the fudging gym.
I can definitely say I've missed having a treadmill on board the Shoco. I know we probably don't have room for it, but it was also part of my morning routine back when I lived in the Green Ring.
Perhaps we can make accommodations so that we can add some supplies so that we can keep up our physical health.
This is so wholesome.
I burst into the ladies' quarters and wake up. I look for Nettleliv. Is she there?
Nettlev's gone.
That's very unfortunate. I go to Lana. She's probably.
Has anyone
dead
sent a
asleep.
message yet?
Oh,
I
yeah,
texted.
yeah.
I texted
Message-
everyone.
Message in the group.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm gonna try to wake Lana up.
Go ahead and roll a lead check.
Can it be
7 or 8.
8? Okay, I'll say that's enough. Lana's a heavy sleeper. You hear the heavy.
Lana, it's time to go. We got a tail.
Do not touch me, I will fucking kill you!
Oh, Francis, sorry.
CNSA is on our tail. They're here now.
Oh shit!
We gotta go.
Oh shit! You see, sort of in a sleepy, half awake frenzy. She begins grabbing her stuff out of the cupboard. She's like, "Oh god! Oh shit! Did you tell Sulk?
Yes, he's grabbing the boys now.
Oh shit! All right, let's go." She swings her legs off and is ready to follow you out. It's at this time that Nettlev looks down at her Fitbit and's like, "Oh, apparently Sensa's after us."
She's Dr. Nettle says this?
Yeah, she looks down at her Fitbit. She's like, I just got a message from the commander. Oh, and it appears that Sensa is after us. They have sent the bloodhounds after us. So probably not going to have time for that cooldown.
Elric's a little lost in thought. And, kind of jogs a little ahead and, I don't mean to target Barry, but he looks like he could benefit from physical exercise to be a productive member of our crew. It would behoove him to join us on such physical exploits.
I think we have bigger problems right now. She hits the stop button on the treadmill and begins running back to. She heads out the door. She's like, "I'm gonna go grab my stuff." Sulk basically said, "You see a message show up. It says repair room, 5 minutes." But yeah, you guys are sprinting through the rotating halls. You head up through the main chute. You find one of the manhole-like apparatuses and the ladders that lead up towards the center. You climb them up and are able to... You find yourself floating again in microgravity as you enter the repair station. Somebody at the front desk is sort of waiting. They're like, "Okay, we've got your craft ready." "Whoa, you seem to be in a rush." As Francis, you rip the documents out of her hand as you're running to the ship.
Yep, sorry. We have an accelerated timeline now. And she'll hand over the thingy, whatever, the dongle, whatever she was doing.
Yeah, the little fob. You hand it back. As you and your crew float weightlessly through the repair bay, you take turns one by one, kicking off of the nearest bulkhead, slingshotting yourselves into the open portside belly of the Shoco-II's cargo hold. Using the strategically placed handholds installed throughout the ship in case of a zero-G navigation, you madly pull yourselves through the ship's interior, swinging from hold to hold like the longest, most deranged set of monkey bars you have ever experienced. You all float down into your designated takeoff positions and strap yourselves in. Lancing, you soar through the Shoko's halls towards the cockpit. When you get to the captain's chair, you don't even bother strapping yourself in. Instead, you opt to splay your legs, holding yourself in place by bracing your thighs awkwardly up against the control panel of instruments that enclose the captain's seat on either side of you. You rush through your pre-flight checklist and soon hear the heart of the Shoco-II thrumming to life from the bowels of the craft beneath you. You disengage the landing gear with a and you feel the Shoko begin to weightlessly drift towards the ceiling of this repair bay. The repair bay door opens up, and you engage the thrusters to begin pulling away from the station. I need you, Barry, to go ahead and, since you're the comms officer, go ahead and try to make a hide check to make sure that you aren't spotted by this craft that's actively looking for you.
A hide check?
You need a hide check from me and Barry?
No, it's only a comms thing. It's like a sensor. It's a hide and seek.
6, 7, 8.
So starships. It's under sensors.
Because I rolled a 6. Program gives me 1, and my intelligence gives me 1, right?
Yes, gotcha. Yeah. So you are a frigate, so you get a +2 to your mod.
So 10?
Yes. And the observer is... They're actively looking for you. They got a 9.
That's not scary at all.
So as you're backing out away from the docking bay of the ship, you see a frigate of about the same size as yours. It appears to be a free merchant class vessel that has sort of gone into a insertion orbit around the glowing planet Heimdall. So yeah, they appear to be keeping their distance, not yet receiving clearance to come in and land on K-SIT base. You see them in the distance, but you can just barely make out the insignia of a red lyre on the side of the ship that marks the military combat vessels of the CNSA. You can make out the
We also have a red lyre?
You do not, no. Your craft is a homebrewed craft. Your ship was basically built from the ground up out of spare parts found around the Sand Rat's abode, slapped together and infused with a reverse-engineered spike drive.
I think Franny would be with Lansing, helping him do pre-check on the piloting, and she's gonna say,
"Yeah, there's another seat in the cockpit."
That new paint job doesn't seem like such a bad idea now.
Maybe we'll worry about it as long as we get out of here with all of our parts in one piece. Holy crap, hold that down, would you?
As you turn around, making a slow rotation, sort of wanting to keep your visual on the ship to make sure that they don't make any sudden movements, you hear Barry at work into the comms room next to you, rushing to secure and make sure that your electromagnetic signal is as dampened as it can be, and you get a go from him saying essentially that there hasn't been a detection lock, and you rotate the craft and you pull away, sneaking out the back door away from this possible CNSA encounter. So, Lansing, I would say you know that you can use the gravity of Heimdall to sort of give yourself a slingshot effect, sort of a free return launch that'll just sort of send you to the outer edge of the solar system faster than the engine would. You do a quick loop, sort of using the engine to speed up and use the gravitational pull of Heimdall to give you a slingshot back out towards the outer edges of the solar system for your next spike drill jump. So as you reach the outer rim of the solar system and begin prepping to do your next leap, you check the rudder to make sure that your heading is correct and that your course through metadimensional space is well charted. And with that, you begin initiating the ship to shunt itself into this other dimension. You're able to go through your whole checklist without a flaw, Francis assisting you, and you're able to make the transition from real space to metadimensional space seamlessly.
Back here again.
Lansing, you feel the heaviness that assaulted you the last time you made a spike drill once again settle over you like an ominous fog.
No.
Is there any physical change when that happens to Lansing? Like, does he flump more or have like a bad expression on his face?
Probably what you would see is once we're in MDS, my shoulders would relax, but you would see like an increased tightness in my jaw. Just looking around more often. Yeah.
I think even at that slight sense of more anxiety, I think this is where she'll bring this up. While I was on the station, I picked up some medicine. I noticed you were a little anxious last time we were in this space specifically. I just wanted to help you out. I just noticed some anxiety. So this is some basic anxiety medicine.
So you
she'll
see
hand it over.
Francis presenting you with the little prescription bottle, you know, with like the classic orange bottom and the white top, the little child safety twist off lock.
Just wanted to make sure you can get through these safely. I want to make sure you're doing all right.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Sorry to make you worry there, Franny. But I can take these if it'll make you feel better.
But only if you need them. Just wanted to make sure you don't hurt yourself. We all like you and we need you. You're a very important member of this team. I'd hate to see you hurt yourself.
I should be okay, but thank you. And you would notice a look that started out as faint annoyance, but as you kind of kept on talking, he was able to relax a bit more and look appreciative by the end of it.
Did you want to take the first shift?
Absolutely. I mean, I know I got us here, but I just want to make sure I've got our heading trimmed exactly towards Asmova before I give up the pilot's chair.
Perfect. Would you like me here, or would you like me to leave you alone for a moment?
I think I don't need an extra pair of eyes at this time, but thank you, Franny. I'll probably put out an announcement here in a bit, though.
Sounds good. I'll go check up on the rest of the crew.
Lansing, you still feel that itch in the back of your head. And each day that you get through the spike drill, you sort of feel, although you think that Franny's meds are helping you sort of, you're not having as many auditory hallucinations you find, but still, something just feels uneasy. Like something's approaching you from behind, following your ship through the tunnel that it burrows through this other spatial plane.
Yeah, Lansing would definitely, as he feels that, just keep kind of checking behind them, checking radar, checking all of his various instruments, just to make sure. And even though he's not seeing anything,
yeah,
he would definitely get more antsy as time goes on.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end our episode there, with Lansing possibly on the edge of another mental breakdown, and with the crew of the Shoco-II having escaped CNSA's clutches by narrow margins once again. As always, if you found yourself enjoying the podcast, please give us a follow on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening to this podcast now. It really helps our little channel grow. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you out there, Space Nerds.